the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
Welcome back, guys. Week 12 recap. You know, we are getting closer and closer to playoffs. That means playoff football is just around the corner for the National Madden League and the CFM this year. Myself, I'm looking towards it. I know BJ's looking towards it. And we got a special guest today, Crispy, the young blood, the young pluck on the league for us. You know, some people love him, some people hate him, but you know, you can't hate on the man. The man's good at Madden and stuff of that nature. So we'll talk to him, ask him a couple questions. Coming off a very interesting game of the week with Cam. He has some things. We'll talk about that game of the week and talk about the season, what his goals are focused on throughout the season. Obviously, a very strong playoff contender and Super Bowl contender, so one loss won't affect him that much. BJ, how you doing today?
I am good. Just got back from football practice today. The boys was hitting for the first time, but got some kids that like I could have closed my eyes and I wouldn't know they hit. Like that's how soft they were. But you know,
hey, you gotta remember they're young kids. So they're like, if you are coaching middle school football, if it was high school football, we should be very concerned if it was a varsity team. But
man,
anyways,
I had to shoot some people out, but it's all good.
Anyways, we'll talk about the first of the doubleheader game of the week this week. We'll talk about the Cardinals versus the Chargers. Man, this game was super interesting and stuff like that. We had a desync. Unfortunately, we had to reset all the stats, get back into certain positions, stuff like that. Chargers had a 24-16 lead coming at half and got the ball at half, driving down the field, and Josh Jackson, the unknown normal DB out of nowhere, gets the interception over the touchdown leader and probably the best wide receiver and also MVP candidate, Mike Williams, in a one-on-one situation that changed the whole game as the Cardinals were able to drive the ball 99 yards down the field and tie the game up 24-24. After that, they didn't look back. The final score ended up being 44-31 with the Cardinals winning. The Chargers' only touchdown was on a pick six at the final play of the game. So the Chargers' offense was scoreless for the second half. It's kind of, you don't want to see that kind of nature. It was a bad time, a lot of interceptions, a lot of turnovers, but you like to see that from a defense side of things. I mean, you gave up 24 in the first half, and it looks like Rams got stopped, but you make an adjustment, understanding how to get more pressure in the backfield on Justin Herbert, and then it changed the whole game. So it was a very intriguing and contested game, featuring two of the top four teams in the league. But, I mean, you had to be there to watch it. If you want to go watch it, Nelly does post his Twitch, all of his games on it too. You can go back and watch that as well. So it was a very interesting game. BJ's, unfortunately, we played late at night because that's the only time we could play. We played like at 1 a.m. Eastern time, like because we're both Central and PST. So not many people are going to tune in that one. So, but moving forward, we're talking about the second game of the week, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Colts.
My mouth doesn't want to. There we go. All right, so this game, really good game. Like I actually watched this one at work. I had my kids sitting down doing their independent work, and I was just like, "Oh snap! They're starting the game." So you know, I had to check this one out. The big difference I think that I noticed a lot was the turnover differential, 5-1. You know, he had the 4 interceptions, 1 fumble. So really the game changing. We kind of talked about this the last video. We talked about the the way Cam would win this game would be a low scoring, moving the ball. You see, Taylor had 106 yards rushing. It had to be that kind of game if he was going to beat Crispy, and he was able to pull it out. Definitely some interesting plays, some bonehead plays on both ends, but it was a great game.
Yeah, we talked about it beforehand. I mean, we said the way Cam wins this game is if he gets the turnovers and is able to control the pace and play a little slow play. Chris, we probably talked about it later, but Cam almost did take up a full quarter, methodically moving the ball down the field, and that falls right at Cam's game plan because he did not want to get an offensive shootout of Crispy. Because if you get an offensive shootout of Crispy, it will not end well. Except for the Dolphins at 137-36 earlier this season. That's the only offensive shootout I've seen. But granted, in that game, Mills did have like 7 interceptions, so it was not a good day. But I mean, look at it. Both Christie's losses this year have been when he's lost a turnover battle. However, another interesting fact, both his losses, he only has 4 carries. I mean, Derrick Henry, we got an X-Factor running back, only has 2 carries for 1 yard. It's something like kind of eye-opening and stuff like that, but it's like, was it because he was worried that Cam was going to take up more time and he was just trying to maximize his time moving the ball down the field in case he did get, if he throw an interception or like David Mills miss a throw or something happened? So we'll be interested to hear that later down the line.
I honestly think this is one of those games that Crispy wanted to win too bad. And you know how like you get into one of those games where you want to win so bad that you kind of go out of what you need to do.
You try to like force things and play like Crispy the offense, like he knows what the offense works a lot too. Like it makes sense and it works. Like it's a great offensive scheme, great rub concept. I mean, Pat Freeman was beating all receivers in yards and he's a tight end. And he has Calvin Austin. I mean, Deontay Jefferson was injured this game. He did dislocate his elbow from Madden stuff. But I mean, since you get so like tunnel vision sometimes, you just focus on passing and not running the ball. Maybe that costs you down the line. You just don't realize it. It's like, oh wow, I could have ran the ball more here and there. I could have put some more yardage to shut the pass because then he's got to respect the run. But
as I will always say though, it's the regular season.
Oh yeah,
get it out
get
it out the way now. I'll take my losses now.
Exactly. All that matters is going 3-0 or 4 in the playoffs, depending if you're playing the wild card divisional. So, leading to that, we'll talk about the playoff race. We actually had our first team clinch the playoffs, and that was the Arizona Cardinals. They officially clinched the West with a 11-1 record. They will be in the playoffs no matter what. They will be in the top 4 seeds, so they will have a home field game no matter what. Now the question: can they hold on to this advantage they have with the number 1 seed to get that first round bye? The schedule looks very promising for them. A couple tough games left. We still have to play. They still have to play Denver, and Denver's also a competitive team over there in the AFC West. So be intriguing to see how that goes. BJ here is at the number 2 seed. Falcons in the 3 seed. They played Crispy this week. They already played their game, but we won't spoil that. We'll talk about that in a different recap. Dallas Cowboys, fresh, coming in out of nowhere to take that number 4 seed in that NFC East, or NFC Least, as some people like to call it in real world. But you got the Minnesota Vikings at 5, the Bucs at 6, the Saints at 7. But I mean, you got a lot of people in the hunt still. You got the Lions in the hunt still, the Giants still in the hunt. I mean, the 49ers are technically still there. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good. We lost the last game 72-3, and yes, we did talk to the Saints about that. And Tibby, like everyone else, gets their first warning, stuff like that. It's his first year in the league, so we gave him his warning. Obviously, the next one's a dev upgrade. That's for everyone who's broken the rules, stuff like that. They understand that, stuff like that. We don't want to be harsh, but we got to keep people honest and stuff in that nature. But the win last week, Cam takes over the number 1 spot and controls the destiny of having that first round bye in the AFC. We got Crispy at 2, the Chargers at 3, the Jets at 4, coming out of nowhere, taking over the AFC East and running away with it right now. So that's good for Steve, man. Take control of the division, try to get that home field playoff advantage in New Jersey. Close at 5. The Raiders, I mean, they started the season 0-4, and they're on a hot streak. They played Chargers this week. That game already happened as well. That game we will talk about next week because that was a very interesting game and how it ended too. So can't wait to talk about that one. We got the Cleveland Browns at 7 sneaking in that playoffs, and we got the Bills Titans, the Houston Texans. Who thought the Houston Texans are going to turn around the tables and come back to be the hunt to make the playoffs? So
just to add to that list, the Bengals are also 6-5, and he's like on a. I think he won 4 out of his 5. The only lost to Crispy.
yeah, so Jackson and the Giants fan are on a hot streak right now. Houston Texans using a rookie quarterback. I can't pronounce his name, but it's like a Kwanu or something like that nature. But using that rookie quarterback, mobile guys, got a strong arm. Bengals, Joe Burrow, got Joe Mixon. So talented team, a lot of good upgrades and devs on that team. So full pushing for that playoffs. So it should be interesting who gets in and who does not get in for that 7th seed. Maybe someone slips out of that 6th seed. Maybe Cole, but it's like, hits that rough patch place. There's a lot of tough games. It just slowly starts drifting out of the playoffs and misses the playoffs. I cannot tell you the last time Cole missed the playoffs. So that would be very interesting. I think he might lose his mind. But now going to our second to last power rankings. BJ.
Yeah, so we're going to move on, try to get as fast as I know Crispy has something he has to do, so we want to get the pace up a little bit. But we have our power rankings. Number 1, we got to go with the Colts. He beat Crispy. He has that 1 loss, but other than that, he's beat the best players that he's played. So he's got to be number 1. We got Cardinals there. CG has not lost a game since that first game against Chris. So we have him there. Number 3, we got Crispy with after that great game with the Colts, that one iffy loss he had. But he's still right there in that race along with the Chargers. He has 2 losses. You and Cole. That's not, if you're gonna lose, those are not too bad people to lose to. Underneath that, you have me there. Then we have Cole. Then we got the Jets, Falcons, Raiders, and then last we have the Vikings. There's a lot of teams in that mix at that that last spot too. I think I could also add the Titans in there. He's had some pretty good wins on his resume. But that's our top 10 for right now. What are you thinking about that list?
Yeah, I will agree with that. The Titans, and then the Bengals could be added here. The Texans could be added here. I'm talking all about those teams, man. I mean, they're on like very fast page right now and stuff like that coming up. I mean, if you look at this list, it looks like the AFC got the really strong competition. So like us, NFC sort of towards the top. When we play these AFC games, we got to show that we're just no fluke, no pushovers. We're just in the NFC and stuff like that. So I was kind of happy to come out to win, be one of the top AFC teams and stuff of that nature. So it's something you want. It's kind of hard to pull your neck and stuff like that because you can't control the schedule. You only control who you play and how you play them. So that's just one thing. I mean, the Raiders just come out of nowhere at the 0-4. This big turnaround for Texas and Bengals. I mean, you love to see that stuff. Like, obviously, we had the Texas come. Texas actually started week 4. I think he joined or something in that nature. I don't know when Texas joined. Jackson did join a little bit later for the Bengals as well. So it's interesting to see that. But, I mean, this is second to last. We got one more power ranking after week 16, right before that could be the last regular season. Has been a wild card, like before the wild card starts for the playoff games. We'll do a playoff power rankings. We're gonna rank all 14 teams in the playoffs, 1 through 7. Who's on the top and the bottom. We won't care about records anymore. We won't care about that because records are thrown out the window at that point in the playoffs. So we got 14 teams. We're gonna rank the 14 teams best as we can going into those key matchups. But now the time that people we wanted to know and hear from. We're going to hear from Crispy himself. Crispy, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you. The young buck of the league. So, Crispy, how are you doing today?
You doing good? How are y'all guys?
Doing good, man. We're glad to have you on the air. We got obligations from your parents. We sent out the contract to have it signed and everything. Just messing around. Crispy, I mean, we played in the league before and stuff like that. You were in the league last year. You got booted from the league last year. It wasn't a full decision. Me and Cole, BJ wasn't here at that point. He was already. I think you were okay.
I was here.
Okay, BJ was here, but BJ wasn't in the commissioner role yet.
I voted for him. I was with Crispy.
Yeah, he won today.
Yeah, I think me and Cole were indifferent, and we went that option out there. Didn't end well because one of the guys, RFP Rocco, he was one of the biggest guys to push you out. And he's no longer here because he got caught cheating himself, which is hilarious. But Crispy, I know, funny, right? All right, Crispy, we'll keep moving on with that. All right, Crispy. So we all know you're a top player in the league and stuff like that. You're showing that from teams taking the Denver last year and stuff in that nature, taking the Pittsburgh series. I mean, the first thing we got to ask, man, you come into Pittsburgh and you say, you know what, we're going to send everyone out and we're going to revamp the whole team. BJ was heartbroken by it. So talk about what was your thinking behind it? Like, hey, I'm trading TJ Watt and all these guys. What was your thinking behind that reason why you're doing that?
Okay, so my game plan, all right. So I don't really feel like, I feel like pass rush is already good. So I was like, TJ Watt, I don't really care about TJ Watt. If I can get him for a lockdown corner, I can lock down any wide receiver that I want. Like, I could, like, I don't know who I played. Like, say, I play like somebody like Tyreek Hill or like the Dolphins. Like I just put Trey White on him and he's locked down like the rest of the game. So I can eliminate one guy off the field. So that's the way I was thinking. And I already saw like there's a bunch of like pass rushers for like the Steelers. So I was like, I'm thinking just stack up my DBs with what they're weak on, stack up my DBs, and just develop them pretty much. That's the way I saw it.
All right. Entry concept, I agree with it. I can understand it. This year is like you have a lethal 2-edge threat pass rush, and you know how to use them, and you know how to play coverage behind it. Then you'd be great because they could get back, they're gonna get pressure, stuff like that. But you could get away without ability edge threats and stuff like that nature, and still get pressure. And if you're able to walk down and get those coverage checks as well, so I can understand your thinking behind that. So DJ was heartbroken because the Steelers team was completely revamped and all stuff. So
he was only doing it because it made me mad. That's all it was.
Okay, I only did the Derrick Henry one.
The Derrick Henry one was that chick. He had Najee. He just traded for Derrick Henry, and if I remember correctly, it was another DB. If I'm not mistaken, like
it was like two DBs, Christian Fulton and Roger Carey, both very good.
Okay, yeah. So something in that nature. I remember that part. I couldn't remember who the DB's names off the head. I mean, I understand it, but I was like, okay, cool. But so I mean. I'll ask this question, man, and what would BJ get that another question? I mean, your two losses this year, I mean, it's just you lost a turnover battle, but second thing is you didn't run the ball. Like you don't need to run the ball to be successful this year. It's like how you play style. It's like my play style, we're gonna run to set the pass. I mean, that's how it was the Chargers victory is we ran to set the pass. We had 18 carries for 120 yards, but then Kyle Murray came out, had 10 for 12. Was 240 passing yards and 2 touchdowns because the run set the pass because you had to respect it. But you're a different way. The pass is always the number one option that could set up the run if I want to. Mm-hmm. But is there anything you go back to change that game plan for that Dolphins and that and lost to Cam as well?
Oh, for the Dolphins. Oh, okay. What I wish I would change for the Dolphins, I probably should have ran the ball more. But I probably should have checked my settings because I don't know why. I don't know if this happens to y'all, but my settings just reset like randomly. Like I had it like set where I had like the freeform and instead of the classic, and I'm like, and I use the freeform a lot because I like the new addition to it. It gives you like more control, like accurate to like exactly where I want it. So I just kept like I was just throwing around. I probably should have been more disciplined because I just felt like I was up by so much. I was just throwing dumb stuff like just being dumb. It's like. I've been trying to get garbage time touchdowns and stuff like that, and I just kept throwing picks against the offense. And then the Colts, I feel like I played well, but I feel like I could be better, like just running the ball. But since he was playing so slow pace, it just frustrated me. I was like, yeah, I have to play high pace to counter this or something like that. I was like, yeah.
It's funny you say that. BJ hates slow-paced games. Tampa Bay, but I mean, we talked about it in the previous week. Talked about the game. We said the only way one of the main reasons Kim could win this game is if he plays his offense, which is slow pace and stuff like that, and forces turnovers and forces Crispy to maybe make those mistakes because he like maybe rushes and stuff like that instead of playing his fundamental offense and stuff like that will get options open, work the ball down the field if the deep shot is open. So it's interesting, but like BJ said, it's the regular season. Only people care about, hey, if I get to the playoffs, all bets are off. I just got in the playoffs. I got to win 4 games or 3 games depending where I play. So
yeah, I feel you. I mean, you're right. Get the loss over with. Like I know what I want to do next time, so I feel I'll be ready next time we meet again, which will most likely meet. Depends if you lose to the Rangers again, but
Yeah, so it'll be very interesting to see how the seeds work on the AFC. So I will say this: NFC, we're very top heavy. We got like 3 top heavy teams, and then everyone else. So that could possibly win a game, but also possibly not win a game. So it's like the other way around. You guys are like you're heavy, it's spread out. Like it's level, but it's heavy spread out. But all the top talent for the NFC is in the first 3 teams right now. That's shown that so far. There's other teams that could possibly be there if they fix a few things here and there, but that's wait to be seen. So, all right.
I have to ask this question because everybody wants to know. Do you have 2 burner accounts in the league?
No. But that's my friend Giants fan and Jacksonville. We've been really good, like CFM, dudes. I've been knowing them since Madden 20 or something like that. We've been playing together for a long time. I'm just it's mostly my Discord friends.
Yeah, okay. I just we had to ask the question because it's just like every sentence is like Crispy's amazing, and it's just
it's just us trolling pretty much. We just go in DMs hype me up real quick, hype me up or something like that.
Yeah, we could. It was pretty funny because I tried to tell these guys at first, no, Crispy doesn't have 2 burner accounts. At least I don't think he has. It'd be pretty funny if he did, though. If we put Jerome beat out here with the burner accounts, fake tweet stuff. But no, it's just funny. Immediately when you said something, Giants have come to say something afterwards, and then Jackson out of nowhere, the Bengals will come say something afterwards, and it's out of the blue, stuff like that. I mean, it was very interesting, but looking towards the rest of the season, the playoffs, obviously, I think me and BJ will both agree that you're a Super Bowl contender. I mean, out of the teams out in the AFC, if we had to pick the top 3 AFC contenders or top 2, who's the top 3? You never know, something might happen. But top 3, you, Cam, and Chargers right now. It's the top 3 that's shown prove week in and week out. I mean, who's the one team you don't want to face in the playoffs on the AFC side?
Alright, let me think. One team I don't want to face. Honestly, I don't like playing Cam, alright? But I hate playing against dudes that just go for ags and just all game. I already witnessed that with the Bucks. Oh my god, it was terrible. I don't want to play against dudes that just ag. I don't know.
I know. We remember that game. We talked about the NFL record that Chris Godwin had on the Pittsburgh Steelers because he literally just started dunking everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful.
And I don't know. I'd probably say I want to say Cam to give him that hype, but I kind of want to say I gotta say Chargers just because of Mike Williams.
Yes, Mike Williams. I mean, he ag and stuff of that nature. Granted, we stopped the ag. But, I mean, I'm not throwing some hints to him after the game and say, hey, the problem is you're not doing this to get the Ags. So, might have helped push him forward when practicing things, understanding.
What are we doing? We giving tips to the competitors now?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Hey, I want a competitive league, okay? We talked about it all last night and stuff like that. I mean, Crispy was the one to come challenge in the AFC with the Bills, tried to beat the Bills and stuff like that. Crispy came in the challenge. And if it wasn't for certain people to kick him out of the league season 3, it was going to be a great AFC championship game again. But we didn't get to that point. We only got to play in the regular season because in the regular season, it was a barn burner. And it took a last-minute drive to put the game in away. Methodically work the ball down the field, Josh Allen, and stuff like that. Defense was not known in that game. It was like 49-46. So it was not known. So, and then one time we did play in the playoffs, I won 35-21, but that's when he had Drew Lock and still had to work out, get developing that team and stuff of that nature. And also, it was in the snow. The snow sucks. And we hate that, man. So I hope they fix that. But also, that's why I picked a team in the sun, so I don't have to worry about snow.
I gotta worry about it.
But we don't want to hold Crispy long. We know he had something he had to do. But we do appreciate you for coming out. And just heads up for everybody. I know I pick with Crispy a lot, but I don't not like him. I think Crispy's cool. I just like picking with people at times. Now the Texans on the other hand, I don't like him. But,
Giants
been like that. That's my boy.
No, it was
I'm
just
sure
funny,
he's cool.
but
I'm sure he's cool too.
we had to put Jonathan on a little slow pace because he came rapidly into chat, started sending countless messages, so we had to tell him to slow down. So, all right, Kizzy, we don't want to hold you up. We know you got a fancy job. We appreciate you coming on the air.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you. Peace.
But yeah, is there anything else you have for us, Cole? Colton, Jesus, I called you Cole.
That hurts. That is painful. Jesus, I'm not the gritty master. I mean, that was not even that was something else. So when you try to do that, if you guys ever have to go see that gritty from Cole, don't see it, please. Save yourself some money. You might cut yourself. You don't remember you posted in the group chat. It's like you did a gritty at Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, I think it's on Twitter too. If you on Google, if you Google Cole Hill gritty, it's like the top someone trying to do the gritty. It's not something you want to see. I'm trying to save you some lives on some years and you're living in this great time. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna buy a league this week. Like we had to wait by. I mean, it was 12 stressful weeks, especially after losing the first game to Chris. It was not. I was like, well, I guess I sucked this man, but we turned the table around. I gotta thank Don. Don's dying right now in the league. He had to go take care of personal matters, but Don did agree to a trade with me to give me Ezekiel Elliott, the MVP, top candidate right now, and he has changed everything for the Arizona Cardinals team, which is fantastic. But
I had to get rid of some people. Packers cap room sucks. My O-line now is a little suspect, but so good.
Oh, we should talk about this because we didn't talk about Green, but I don't know how many people change. People have been asking for can we get some incentives for streaming games or watching the videos and stuff like that? Yes, we talked about it. We came up with a great idea. So this is what's happening. So starting next year, in this off season, we start making recap videos for the off season, going through a key free agency season and draft and stuff of that nature. And the videos, I will say keywords. So we'll say today's keyword playoffs, and you have to DM me that word, and then I'll be like, cool, gotcha. If you do that for the whole Madden season, and give me for every recap video we do, you'll get a free star upgrade. In addition to that, if you stream at least 12 of your 18 games, you don't hey, CG, well, someone else streams a game for us, we're both playing. We'll count the stream for both of you, okay? That's how it works. You don't only have 2 streams. You got 1 stream for both. But if they do that, you also will get an upgrade for stars. If you do both, I mean, I've been hesitant. I don't know how many people get both. If people do both, come back. We might do something a little bit special for that, but we gotta see if we get there first for certain people. But that actually is happening. We did not forget about that, but we don't want to start that mid-season because it's kind of hard. We have to go back, count everything and stuff like that. We don't want to throw down on people like, oh, I want to stream my games then. But that is happening. So stay tuned for that. DJ, you got anything else?
No. Continue sending any clips that you guys have to either me or CG, and we'll get you guys in our intro video. But yeah, other than that, I have nothing else.
Cool. We appreciate you guys being here. Keep watching the videos. Keep asking questions. We want to get more people on the air, stuff like that. We get Nelly if he's available to come on, or maybe Roro to come on. Or hey, if people have the first couple draft picks, Duke or Chris, if they're available, we'll get them on as well. So thank you for tuning in. As always, appreciate it. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take